out.
Well, I can see that. I thought you had an essay to write.
I can do that when I get back.
Yes, well, you better... What are you wearing your coat like that for?
Oh, what?
Not over your shoulders.
I've just slipped it on. I may not wear it.
You should make up your mind.
Why?
Well, if a coat's got sleeves, no doubt put on at considerable expense, why not use them? It's not a cape, is it?
I don't know what all the fuss is about. Just because I haven't got my arms in the sleeves, what's wrong with that?
Well, let's just say it's a trend I don't particularly approve of. Apart from that, he looks affected.
Affected? You're so bourgeois.
Matthew, come back here. Are you wearing makeup? What? You heard what I said. Are you wearing cosmetics? No? Yes, you are. Your eyes are standing out like saucers.
Well, I've got a little liner on.
Liner?
And some base.
Base? Oh, no. I thought we had enough problems with your hair changing colour.
My hair's not changing colour.
Well, the bathroom towels are. They're turning green. If you're using peroxide...
I'm not. I'm just bringing out the highlights, that's all.
Highlights? Oh, no, I don't believe it. What's this for, Matthew? What's the reason for it?
It's a very good reason, actually. I'm going for an audition.
An audition?
At the college. I'm taking up acting.
Taking up acting? When did you ever stop?
I'm serious. I want to do something with my life. And I know now I'll never make it as a rock singer.
Why not?
I haven't got a voice.
Well, that's never stopped the others. Why acting?
Because I'm looking for something. Ever thought there may be something I can do better than anyone else in the world?
You found it, Matthew. It's called skiving.
You don't approve of actors, do you?
No, I don't, as a matter of fact. That profession attracts a very dubious type of person. A little too fond of the eyeliner and standing around with empty sleeves. Apart from that, they live in a fantasy world, and you certainly don't need that.
What's wrong with a little fantasy? People like fantasy. They like to dream. That's why actors can make a lot of money.
They can also starve. Most of them are out of work, Matthew.
Well, perhaps I'll be one of the exceptions.
Well, perhaps. I wouldn't bank on it.
Well, thanks for those few words of confidence. Well, it may interest you to know that Lydia thinks I have potential.
Who's Lydia?
Our drama advisor.
I thought there'd be a woman in it somewhere.
She's putting on scenes from Shakespeare, and she's asked me to audition. She'd like me to read a sonnet. I know. Why don't you let me read?
No.
Why not?
No, I've got things to do.
Such as?
I've got to water the geraniums.
That's no excuse. Come on. Won't take a second.
I suppose it's a love poem.
Yep.
I thought so. Read it to Enid.
I don't want to read it to Enid. I want to read it to you.
But I'm busy.
What's the matter? Are you embarrassed?
No.
Yes, you are. You hate any expression of feeling, don't you?
No, All right. Get on with it.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I heard raised voices.
That's all right, Enid. Matthew's just comparing it to a summer's day.
Oh, poetry. That's nice. Go on, Matthew.
Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometimes too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometimes declines by chance on nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal beauty shall not fade. What do you think?
I think I better water the geranium.
I must finish that iron.
Now, Matthew, we'll take it from Put Out the Light.
Right. Put out the light.
No, without the book, Matthew.
Without the book?
Well, we have been rehearsing for several weeks, Matthew. You should know our lines by now. After all, we open on Friday.
Of course. And I do appreciate you coming round to help me like this, Mrs. Lane.
Please. Lydia?
Lydia.
Or better still, Desdemona. Innocent child bride of a fiercely passionate and fiery warrior.
Right.
Now, take it from Put Out the Light, and when you get to When I Have Plucked Thy Rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It needs must wither, I'll smell it on the tree. Kiss me.
I beg your pardon?
Kiss me.
Now?
Yes.
On our settee?
We have to see if it works. We haven't done it yet.
I realise we haven't done it yet, Mrs. Lane. I thought we were saving that for the night.
Well, we can't leave everything to the last moment, Matthew. And when you get to our balmy breath that dost almost persuade justice to break her sword one more, kiss me again.
Again?
Yes, twice.
That makes 3 times in all, Mrs. Lane.
Yes, you see, it's your kisses that wake me from my slumber.
Well, I realise that. I realise my kisses wake you from your slumber. Is Mr. Lane going to be there on Friday?
Of course he's going to be there. He's moving the scenery.
Oh, good.
Matthew. Put out the light. No, the line, Matthew.
Oh, sorry. Put out the light, and then put out the light.
Excuse me, Enid. When you finish checking the woodworm, I'd like to go through.
I wouldn't go in there, Mr. Willows, at least not without knocking.
Why not?
That's not for me to say. All I know is she's old enough to be his mother.
What?
One more. One more.
Matthew, could I see you for a moment?
Mister?
What do you think you're doing in there? Rehearsing. All right, Matthew. I'm not reproaching you. You wouldn't be the first young man to have his head turned by an older woman. But it never works, believe me. I've seen it happen. There's no future in it. Oh, it may look roses now, but she's not getting any younger. Now just think ahead. One day you could be pushing her around in a wheelchair, feeding her rusks. You've done it. Rehearsing?
For the play.
Play? I mean, you were acting with her?
Yeah. Didn't think I was doing it for real, did you?
I didn't know what to think, did I?
Well, I must have been pretty convincing.
Convincing? Well, I want to know is if that's the rehearsal, what's the real thing going to be?
Mrs. Lane thought we should bring out the realism.
Well, you're bringing out the realism, all right. Mrs. Lane? What do you mean, she's married? Yeah. Why was she stretched out like that?
She's supposed to be sleeping. It's the bedroom scene.
The bedroom scene? You mean you're going to be romping around with a married woman in public?
Not romping. I have to smother her.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? First sex, now sadism. And what about Mr. Lane? What's he going to be doing during this night of lust?
Moving the scenery.
Is he? You'll be lucky if you don't get a weight on your head.
No, I won't, because it won't be me up there. It'll be a fellow.
You're playing a fellow?
Yeah. What's all that?
I can see one slight drawback. He was black.
I know.
Well, couldn't they have got one of the black students to play the part?
No. They're all in the basketball team. Except Clyde. He wouldn't touch it.
Well, why wouldn't Clyde touch it?
He's playing Henry V.
Henry V wasn't black.
I know, but we thought it'd make a change.
Well, couldn't you have played Henry V?
No. It's all swords in that scene. You could cut yourself. No, I'm more of a smotherer. No, I have to go. She's waiting. Oh, and try not to interrupt us again. This scene requires a great deal of concentration. Put out the light, and then put out the light. If I quench thee, thou flaming minister...
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
I can thy former light restore. Should I repent me? But once put out thy light...
What's the matter, Matthew?
I can't do it while he's staring at me.
You better get used to it. They're going to be staring at you on Friday.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Start again, Matthew, and I don't think there's any reason to put the light on and off.
I thought that was an interesting bit of business, Lydia. I was demonstrating that I could switch that light on and off, but not yours.
I don't think it's strictly necessary.
You think they'll get it?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Oh.
Start again, Matthew.
No, not while he's here.
Matthew, I think we begin to need an audience.
I don't mind an audience. It's all this groaning. He thinks I'm rubbish.
Oh, I'm sure your father doesn't think that.
Of course not. Little wooden, perhaps.
Wouldn't?
Yes, well, when he says put out the light and then put out the light, I don't think he should sound like a visiting electrician.
Electrician?
And a dozy one at that. But that's only my opinion, of course. But a little more to Othello.
Yes, I think that is quite valid. Perhaps you could brighten him a little.
Why? He's not that bright, is he? He's only going to bump his wife off because someone's got her handkerchief. All he's got to say is what's happened to your hanky, Desdemona. She could tell him she lost him. There wouldn't be any murder.
There wouldn't be any play either.
I think the handkerchief is largely symbolic, Matthew.
Precisely, Lydia. We're talking about a man who loved not wisely but too well. Not easily jealous, but being wrought, perplexed in the extreme, like the base Indian threw a pearl away, richer than all his tribe.
You've obviously studied the character, Mr. Willows.
Henry.
You've obviously studied the character, Henry.
Not only studied it, lived it, Lydia.
Oh.
Yes, I think I know a little about jealousy and passion.
You mean you speak from personal experience?
You could say that. Yes, to play Othello, you need to know something about pain and betrayal.
That's very true.
Of course, it's not Matthew's fault, because he's young. Hasn't lived yet. Hasn't been touched by tragedy. There's been no drama in his life. It's been mainly farce up to now.
Well, perhaps you could show him what you mean.
Sorry?
Well, you could do it for him. Let him see. I'm sure it'd be extremely helpful.
Well, I'm no actor.
Mind you keep interfering?
Well, you wouldn't mind, would you, Matthew?
No, I could use a good laugh.
Yeah, well, I was only expressing an opinion.
Yes, but it's not so easy when you have to do it, is it?
Please. Emma?
All right. Put out the light, and then put out the light. If I quench thee, thou flaming minister, I can again thy former light restore, should I repent me. But once put out thy light, thou cunning pattern of excelling action, I know not where is that Promethean heat. When I have plucked thy rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It needs must wither. I'll smell it on the tree.
Sorry.
Well, something like that, Matthew.
That's very good, Henry.
That's what I was doing.
Well, not quite. Would you like us to go further?
I don't mind.
No, I think I've seen enough. Could I have my script back? Henry? Hello, Deb. This is for you. Enid's got hers.
What's this?
A ticket for tonight.
Sorry, Matthew, I can't make tonight.
It's free, it's complimentary, you don't have to pay.
Yeah, well, that's not the point. I've got a long-standing arrangement. Didn't I tell you?
No, you didn't tell me. I just assumed you'd be going. All the parents would be there.
Yes, well, I would have liked to have been there, but you know how it is. I've got this important meeting, and I'm in the chair. Any other time.
What about Saturday?
You doing it on Saturday as well?
Yeah.
Yes, well, Saturday could be difficult. See, I've got this...
Long-standing arrangement?
Well, yes.
You think I'm going to fall flat on my face, don't you?
No.
You think I'm going to make a fool of myself?
Of course not. You'd be very good.
You didn't think I was very good the other night?
Well, no, but I could see a lot of potential. I think you'll surprise them.
surprised, though?
Well, by being very good. Oh, and remember, just before you go on, take a deep breath. You'll be tense and nervous, so you'll be using a lot of oxygen, and you need that for the brain. In fact, take several deep breaths.
You think I'm going to be lousy?
No, of course not. You'll be very good. And try and move naturally.
Naturally?
Well, try not to look as if you're on strings.
You do think I'm going to be lousy?
No, you'll be very good. And don't look down and mumble. Pitch your voice to the back. If you forget your lines, wait for the prompt. And if you can't hear the prompt, watch Lydia's lips. She'll give you the lines. Oh, and when you kiss her, don't make a meal of it. Just remember, her husband's in the wings.
Anything else?
Nope, it'll be a triumph. But if they do want to carry you shoulder high from the theatre, find out where they're taking you first.
And I thought you'd be proud of me. I can't do anything to please you, can I?
Oh, I was only joking. Matthew, I meant it. You'll be very good.
Oh, what time are we going tonight, Mr. Willows?
Where?
To see Matthew.
I won't be going in it.
Why not?
Because he's going to fall flat on his face.
But all the parents will be there.
Not this one.
Oh, but Mr. Willows...
Enid, Matthew couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. He's more wooden than Andy Pandy.
I still think we should support him.
Yeah, well, I didn't ask him to get up there and make a fool of himself.
Perhaps he wouldn't make a fool of himself if you showed a bit more confidence in him. He's only doing this to please you.
Well, he's failed miserably. Anything else, Enid?
I know you're my employer, Mr. Willows, but sometimes I could nail you to the brickwork.
Oh, Enid, there's a spare ticket if you want it.
Oh, no, Mr. Willows, you keep it. Give it to a friend, if you've got one.
Right. Put out the light, Matthew.
Put out the light.
Put out the light. And then put out the light. If I quench thee, thou flaming minister, I can thy former light restore. Thy light. Captain of excelling nation, I know not where is that Promethean heat that can thy light renew. Should I be present? When I have plucked thy rose, I cannot give it vital growth again. It needs must wither. I'll smell it on the tree. Oh, balmy breath. Almost persuade justice to break her sword. One more. One more. One more, and this the last.
Othello?
Hi, Desdemona.
Will you come to bed, my lord?
Have you prayed tonight, Desdemona?
Yeah, and look what she's got!
Aye, my lord.
If you bethink yourself of any crime unreconciled as yet to heaven and grace, solicit for it straight.
Alas, my lord, what can you mean by that?
I would not kill thy soul.
Talk you of killing?
Aye, I do.
Then heaven have mercy on my soul.
You're back early?
Yeah,
You've still got some makeup on.
I was in a hurry.
Well, there are no celebrations then? No backstage parties?
No, they're tomorrow night.
Well, how did it go?
Great. There was a lot of reaction. They like me. You should have been there.
Yes, I should have been there. Well, perhaps I can make tomorrow night.
No, that's all right, Dad. I know you're busy. I think I'll have an early night.
Matthew, I don't care what they say. I thought you were very good.
Thanks.
It's not your fault it was a disaster. These things happen. I'm sure Lawrence Olivier's had nights like that.
Yes, I thought...
No, she's right. It was a disaster. The bed was like a trampoline. I couldn't remember my lines. I sweated so much my makeup ran. To crown it all, I ripped Lydia's dress off. I've got to go through it all again tomorrow night. That's if her husband doesn't get me first. I'm just glad you weren't there, that's all.
Oh!
Well, as Enid said, these things happen.
Only to me.
No, that's not true, Matthew. I haven't told you this before, but I was in a play once. At school. Julius Caesar. I played Cassius. Yes, I was very good in rehearsals. They even predicted a career on the stage for me. But on the night, in the assassination scene, I trod on them in my toga, tripped and collided with the scenery. 3 pillars that were supposed to withstand the ravages of time fell into the stalls. In the confusion that followed, I stabbed Brutus instead of Caesar. Brutus got angry and stabbed me. In the meantime, Caesar was fed up with being stabbed anyway, saw his chance of escape and started fighting for his life. Like a scene out of West Side Story.
Crikey, sounds like a real disaster.
Yeah, and if that wasn't bad enough, I left me watch on.
What?
Have you ever seen a senator from ancient Rome wearing a wristwatch?
No.
I haven't been on the stage since.
I've got to go on again tomorrow night.
Well, listen, I'll come and see you after all. Can't get worse.
No. You know, I'm really glad you didn't see me tonight.
So am I. I think I'll go and water the geranium.
What are you doing with these? They're L plates.
I can see what they are, Matthew.
Well, I can't put it off any longer, can I?
Can't you?
No. I've got my provisional. I thought I'd better get it done before the bad weather starts.
Good idea. Who's teaching you?
I thought you would.
Oh, no.
Most fathers teach their sons to drive.
I'm not most fathers.
Why not?
Because you've got the wrong temperament. You're impatient, you lack concentration, and those boots are too big for the pedals.
I ain't changed my boots.
But you can't change your temperament, Matthew. To become a motorist, you need patience, control, anticipation, quick reactions.
How did you get through?
What did you say?
I said, how am I going to get through if my old father won't pass on his basic skills to his son? Even a primitive tribesman does that.
But the primitive tribesman doesn't have a brand new 1800 in the garage. All he's going to break is his bow and arrow. Apart from that, you never listen to a word I say.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Don't even think I'm a good driver.
What makes you say that?
Oh, I've heard you whispering in the car. Heard you muttering, put your foot down, for God's sake. I'm not deaf.
I know I used to be like that, but not anymore. I've matured over this last year, and I've come to realise you're a good driver.
Have you?
You're careful. Better to arrive 30 minutes late in this world than 30 years early in the next, Dad. Lose control of yourself, and you lose control of the car.
Yeah, all right, Matthew. I'm not that slow.
No, and you've got very quick reactions.
Yes, well, may seem as if I've got quick reactions, but that's anticipation. When I'm driving down the road, my mind is working like a computer.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes. Yes, it observes the child playing on the pavement, the dog running out into the road, the ice cream van, the oncoming lorry, wet conditions. Oh, yes, all the information is being stored, ready for an emergency, and when it comes, I'm ready.
Blimey.
I'll show you what I mean. Here, catch. See, you missed it.
I wasn't ready.
Precisely. But if I were to tell you in advance that I was going to throw this pen for you to catch, then it would be another story. That's anticipation. Here, now. Ready? Catch. See? Wrong temperament.
Oh, that's right. Underrate me. You always do. But if you won't teach me, I'll teach myself.
No, without a car.
I don't need a car.
Mm. You're going to keep that noise up all night.
I've got to learn.
You've got to put your seatbelt on. And you're not using your mirror. Don't hold the wheel like that. You'll tie your wrists in a knot. Tether the wheel. Through your hands, tether the wheel, tether the wheel. All right, you're moving out. Now indicate. Careful. Now you're taking that coffee table on a blind bend. Pedestrian!
Matthew, why did you do that?
Enid, you moved out from behind a parked coffee table without looking. I had a blooming sideboard up my back. Could have been a nasty accident.
What is he talking about?
He's learning to drive, Enid.
Wouldn't it be easier in a car?
Yes, I think you're right. Go and put the L plates on, Matthew.
Thanks, Dad.
You're going to teach him to drive?
Yes.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Come on, there's something the matter.
I just wondered if you had temperament for it.
What?
After all, it needs patience, self-control.
Who said I didn't have patience and self-control?
You did when I asked you to teach me.
Yes, well, that was different.
Because I'm a woman?
Of course not. Just that I think that if God had intended women to drive, he'd have given them stronger wrists and feet that reached the pedals.
That bad?
What a performance. I've never seen anything like it. When you get behind the wheel, you become a monster. You almost killed that woman. She stepped out. Matthew, pedestrians always have the right of way, especially on a zebra crossing.
Well, I forgot where the brake was.
What?
You were shouting so much I couldn't concentrate.
Well, of course I was shouting.
You've given me a headache.
What about me? My head's throbbing.
Because of one little mistake?
One little mistake, Matthew. You notice those triangular signs with the red edging and the black letters saying give way?
Yeah?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. You give way to oncoming traffic. Don't leap out at them like an ambush.
I didn't hit anything.
Only because you mounted the pavement. You realise you ran over that man's foot.
That was the curb.
But why was he hopping up and down on one leg?
Well, you've shattered my confidence.
You've got too much confidence if you ask me. You were travelling far too close to that car in front. I could read all his stickers. I'm a blood donor and come to Jesus. And I'd have thought the one in the middle would have interested you. If you can read this, you're too close. Well, I could read it all right. I could read the printer's name as well.
He was travelling very slowly.
Of course he was. He wanted you in front of him. You'd see his face in the mirror. It was ashen. Oh, you were a menace.
You see? Well, better put these in the dustbin.
What?
You're right. I'll never make a drive. It's a wrong temperament.
Ah, I see. First setback and you're quitting, is that it?
No, but you said there was...
Never mind what I said. You give up very easily, don't you?
I just don't think I'll master it. I think my nerve's gone.
Well, then the best thing is to get straight back into that car. Go on, put the oil plates on.
Why? You haven't got any faith in me.
Yes, I have. And I'll show you how much faith I've got in you. I'm going to let you drive that car out of the garage, and I'm not going to say a word.
Thanks, Dad.
Where are you going?
I'm getting in.
Oh, wait a minute. Isn't there something we should do before setting out on a journey?
I've been.
Not talking about that. First thing we do is check the car is roadworthy. Have you looked at the tyres?
No?
Don't you think this front one looks a little under pressure?
Could be.
Check it.
Things all right?
With this.
24.
Ah, spot on.
The manual says 26.
Did it?
Yes.
Yes, well, I like them a little under. Now, what about the oil?
Oh, we don't need to check that. There's an oil light.
And what if the oil light is faulty? Oil is the lifeblood of the engine, Matthew. Dip it.
Can't open it.
That's going to be embarrassing, isn't it? Motorist arrives at the garage and can't locate his engine. That'll impress him.
Is there a catch inside?
Well, of course there's a catch. I thought you'd pressed it. Now then, check the oil.
Can't find the dipstick.
Oh, dear. Another embarrassing moment. Can't find his dipstick.
Well, where is it?
Well, it's usually down the side of the engine. Something that keeps changing the layout.
How long you had this car?
Never mind how long I've had it. They can never leave things alone. It was perfect all right where it was. Oh, well. The oil light will tell us. Right, everything else all right. Plugs, the leads, water levels. Good. Right, well, you can drop the bonnet. Matthew.
Yeah?
You trapped my time in the car.
Sorry.
Never do that again. Never close a bonnet without making sure that it's clear of all appendages. Could have been a nasty accident.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to say another word because I've got complete confidence in you.
Good.
Watch your wing mirrors.
I'm watching.
Now, get your clutch in gently. Put your gear first. Now, look over your shoulder. Take a good line. Now, gently.
Here we go.
I'm not going to say a word. Careful. a 3-point turn.
3 points?
Yes.
In this street?
Matthew, you're taking your test today. I presume you've achieved a reasonable degree of proficiency. I want a 3-point turn. Not your normal 7, not even a 5. I want a 3.
I can't.
Why not?
Someone's watching me.
Someone's watching you.
That girl over there.
Matthew, imagine you're taking your test. You can't stop because someone's watching you.
But she knows me.
Well, the examiner's not going to pick a street where no one knows you. What do you want to do? Take it in Birmingham? There he is with a green card in his hand, ready to pass you. Ask you to do a 3-point turn, and you say, I can't, someone's watching me. Fail. Just get on with it.
What about all these cars?
They're not going to move. They're stationary. Just be careful and take your time. Balance your clutch. Now, there's a bit of canvas, so watch it. Don't roll back. Don't roll back!
I think I ate it.
Pull over, will you? See what the damage is.
All right then. Hardly a scratch.
I was thinking of the other car, Matthew. The one you hit.
Just a few scratches, that's all.
You better leave your name and address under the wiper.
Why? Just a few scratches. And a dent. It's hardly worth spoiling an unblemished record.
Unblemished record? You haven't passed your test yet.
Just forget about it.
No. No, there's a code of honesty amongst motorists in these sort of situations, and you must follow it. Besides, someone's watching.
What's she done?
Window across the street. Read the details. People think I am writing my name and address on this paper, but I am not. Write down your name and address. And hurry. You've got your test in 10 minutes.
I suppose things can get much worse.
I wouldn't count on it. Now, keep calm, Matthew. Try and relax. Are you nervous?
Yeah, you?
No.
Been before?
6 times.
I just hope I don't get Morley. He never passes anyone. He's a swine. I've had him 3 times. He hates me. Not that I'm worried this time.
Why?
I'm on tranquilizers. It's going to be murder today. The road's up in the high street. There are diversions, so they've forecast heavy rain. What's the overall stopping distance if you're doing 50?
Overall distance? 175 yards.
Right, that would be 50 for the thinking, and 125 for braking.
What do you do if you feel tired on the motorway?
I wind down the window, and I turn up the radio.
And if that doesn't work, pull to the side of the road and rest.
Right. What must you always never do before moving off?
Use your mirror, look round for a final check, and move out only when you can do so safely.
Right. Do you want one of these?
No, thanks.
What do you do if you start to skid on ice?
Pray.
No, you turn your wheel right into the skid. Then you pray. You know them red triangles with the zigzag? What do they mean?
I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't give much for your chances.
He's my instructor.
Oh, is he? Well, I wouldn't give much for your chances either. My instructor never stays. He just can't bear to watch.
Yes, well, I better get back to the office, Matthew. I'll pick the car up later.
Perhaps you won't need to. Perhaps I'll pass.
He wanted to get Morley. They say he's terrible on Mondays. Not as any good the rest of the week, huh?
Perhaps I'll get someone else.
You could get Collins. He's all right. He gives them away.
There you are, Dad. Go get Collins.
Well, I sincerely hope so.
Mr. Prendergast.
Oh, my God, I've got Morley.
What this means, Dad?
You could get Collins.
Right.
Hello. My name's Collins.
Great. My name's Willows, Matthew Willows.
Yes. I believe you left this note on my windowsill.
I'll pick the car up later, Matthew. Buses run every hour. Well?
Well, wasn't my day, was it? Was it a mood to start with?
Well, you did bump his car.
And he never let me forget it. He was moaning about it the whole time. Apparently he spent all weekend waxing it. I knew I shouldn't have left my name and address.
No, you did the right thing. He'd respect you for it.
He didn't. You'll be all right if you get Collins? Not today. We've got the whole family in bed with flu. I'm in a terrible mood.
Don't make excuses, Matthew.
Excuses? Did you see the high street? The road was up, the lights failed. There's a traffic jam and it poured with rain. We're aquaplaning most of the time.
Well, you must have done something, right? How about the emergency stop?
Wonderful. He banged his head on the windscreen.
Never mind, there'll be another day.
No, there won't.
Look, Matthew, everybody has to be tested. It's not pleasant and no one likes it, but that's life.
Where are you going?
To pick up the car. And when I get back, I don't want to hear how he didn't like you, how everything went wrong, and how the whole world is against you. Just stop blaming others because you failed.
Who said I failed?
What?
Your car's in the drive, Dad. Dad, can I borrow
No.
You didn't even know what I was going to say.
Let me see if I can guess. You were going to say, can I borrow the car?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Because it's my car, it's the only one I've got, and I need to look after it.
Come on, Dad, as long as if you're using it.
Well, I am, as a matter of fact. It's a rotten night, and I promised to take Enid home.
That's no problem. I can drop her off on the way.
No, I couldn't risk it. No, it's freezing fog out there, Matthew. Need a few thousand miles under your belt to cope with that.
It's not that bad.
Not yet, but it could descend like a blanket. Like the fog of 63. Yes, that was a real fog. So thick you couldn't see the instrument panel. I was known as Cat's Eyes in those days.
Cat's Eyes?
Yes, you know what?
They used to close in the daytime.
Because I could see in any conditions. When it's foggy, people used to ask if they could follow me home. Yes, the fog of 63. I led a convoy of 30 cars up that motorway.
Look, I can see in the fog.
Oh, maybe you can, but you're forgetting Enid. She wouldn't entrust her safety to someone who's only just passed his test.
She wouldn't mind.
Oh, you don't think so? Oh, well, let's find out, shall we? Enid!
Yes, Mr. Willows.
Oh, Enid, Matthew's just asked if he can borrow the car, and he said he'll run you home on the way.
I'll get my coat.
Enid, I would point out that I am prepared to take you myself.
That's all right.
Yes, but after all, he's only just passed his test. I mean, we would both understand if you felt safer with a more experienced driver.
No, I don't mind.
But conditions are pretty bad, Enid. Freezing fog, possibility of black ice, and he is very young.
Ah, but younger people have quicker reactions, don't they?
What?
I'll get the car out.
Enid, I appreciate you building his confidence like this, but if you feel safer with me...
I don't.
Oh, well, if it was that little incident in the supermarket car park, that wasn't my fault.
No.
That could happen to anyone.
Yes, but it did shake me up, Mr. Willows. My neck hasn't been the same since. I think I've got whiplash.
You haven't said anything to Matthew?
No.
Oh, good, because he's still got a lot to learn, and I don't want him to lose confidence in me.
No, of course not.
Dad, there's Mr. Chapman to see you. He says you pranked him in the car park.
What?
Ah, we meet again, Mr. Willows. You remember our little, incident in the car park? Well, in the excitement of the moment, we forgot to exchange our insurance details.
Oh, no, that's all right, Mr. Chapman. You caused very little damage, and I've decided not to make a claim against you.
Oh, thank you. Now, if I can have the address of your insurance company.
Wait a minute. You're not making a claim against me.
Well, you did reverse into me.
Reverse into you? Reverse into you? You ran into me. I was carrying out a very difficult manoeuvre in a confined space. When you entered the car park at speed and hit me.
I was barely moving.
Barely You asked my passenger if you were barely moving. She's got whiplash.
Well, I'm afraid that's your fault, Mr. Willows. When you came out of your confined space, sharply...
Sharply? When you entered that car park like a bat out of hell.
I couldn't avoid you. And you made no attempt to stop.
Stop? Didn't even see you.
Then how could you judge my speed?
I see. We've got a lawyer here, have we? I couldn't see you because you were just a blur. Fortunately, I don't have to bandy words with you. I have a witness, Mrs. Thompson. Enid, was there any way I could have avoided that collision?
No.
See?
Not if you didn't see him.
Why didn't I see him?
You were watching the front end.
I didn't see him because he wasn't there.
And how did we hit him?
We didn't hit him, he hit us. Nobody could have seen him.
I saw him.
Yes, and why didn't you say something? Because you didn't have time.
No, you don't like me to say anything. You lose your temper.
I don't lose my temper.
Look, I don't think this is getting us anywhere, Mr. Willows. If I can just have your insurance details, please.
There you are.
Thank you.
But this is totally without prejudice. I accept no responsibility, and I'll fight you in every court in the country.
Wouldn't advise it, Mr. Willows.
I'll show you out.
Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. Perhaps I could have your name and address as a possible witness.
She's been waiting for this moment. It's revenge. Just for the blameless record of 30 years accident-free motoring.
Never mind, Dad. We all make mistakes.